So, we're here at View from the Yard, and it is another episode of This Day in Sports. Say it. Sports. We have two new sponsors. Did you know that we had two sponsors? We have two sponsors. They don't actually pay anything, and they don't really know that they're sponsoring us, but they're two friends of ours. So we're going to give shout-outs to our two of our sponsors. By the way, if you want to be a sponsor here on This Day in Sports, brought to you by View from the Yard, comment down below, and we'll be more than happy to work out some kind of sponsorship deal with you. The first one is from Pierce College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Go there. Check it out. Check out their website. And, tell them Rob and Cameron sent you. All right? And the second one, they also don't know that they're sponsoring us. So it'll be a surprise for them as well, is from Woodrow's Sandwich Shop. You know where that is? South Street.
South Street?
It is. It's on South Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as well. Go to Woodrow's Sandwich Shop. Ask for Kevin and tell him Rob and Cameron sent you. And he'll go, who? Right?
Yeah.
No, he knows us. So go ahead, tell Kevin that Rob and Cameron sent you at Woodrow's Sandwich Shop. They're the bomb. All right?
They are. Their food is delicious.
Delicious. I like their food a lot. I highly recommend it. All right, are we ready? Today's a very special edition of This Day in Sports. Do you want to tell them why it's such a special edition?
Nope.
You don't want to tell them?
Nope.
I'll tell them. Because it's a whole weekend in one episode. So watch it in little spurts if you want to, or watch the whole thing all at once. But we have today, Friday, October 20th, tomorrow, Saturday, October 21st, and Sunday. October 22nd.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, all 3 days worth of fun facts right here for you. All dealing with sports, and now since baseball season is starting to come to an end, so we're going to throw in some other facts about other sports as well, so we can continue this on all year long.
Oh, we don't just have to stop now.
Right.
Who wants that?
Who wants that? You want to keep seeing us. Especially her. She's a cutie patootie. All right, tell them where they can find us, please.
They can find us at Snapchat at View from the Yard. They can find us on Facebook at View Yard.
View Yard on Facebook.
And on Twitter?
You got it.
At View from the Yard.
All right, so in all three of those places you can find us. And not to mention, right here on the Tubing of You's YouTube, follow us.
Press the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell right down here. It's the little bell that you click, and if you turn on View from the Yard's notification, you'll get every notification every single time you post a video. That's crazy.
Crazy! And we're going to do a lot of those, hopefully daily. That's our goal.
Oh, and
subscribe, and
comment down below the question of the day.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you the question of the day in a couple of seconds, because we definitely have a good question of the day for you today.
We do.
Yes, we do. All right, so now we're going to get through some of the good stuff. So starting with today's fun facts. Today's fun facts started in 1910, okay, way back in 1910. And no, Cameron, I wasn't born then.
You weren't?
No, I wasn't. The World Series, the 1910 World Series was the first appearance of the cork-centered baseball that we all love and use these days. All right? Before then, I don't know what was in the middle of it, but now they finally have the nice, consistent cork inside of it. And, Cameron, you want to tell them who won it?
The Philadelphia Athletics.
They went on to win the series 4-2 over the
Cubs!
Over the Cubs. So Philadelphia Athletics won the very first one with a corked baseball. 1924 saw the first time the Negro League had a World Series. Now this was very interesting. I found this very interesting, very intriguing. Great word. As I did the research on this, I found out that the series was a 9-game series. They actually played 10 whole games because one of the games ended in a tie. But are you ready for this? The KC Monarchs won 5-4 in a best-of-9 matchup with Game 3 ending in a tie. The first 2 games were played in Philadelphia. The next 2 were played in Baltimore. Then the 3 after that were played in Kansas City. And then the last 3 were played in Chicago. So the World Series, the 1924 Negro League World Series took place in 4 cities. That's pretty impressive. In 1946, Frank Sino returned a kickoff of 105 yards for the Chicago Cardinals versus the New York Giants. Question of the day. Are you ready for the question of the day? Here's the question of the day. What years were the Cardinals in Chicago? Because we all know the Cardinals now are the Arizona Cardinals. But before then, they were the Chicago Cardinals. So in what years were the Cardinals in Chicago? That, my friends, is the question of the day. What do they have to do?
Pause this video. Go down to the comment section. Comment down below your answer or what you think the answer is of the question of the day. And if you comment, we might tell you the answer.
We might. And we might even throw a shout out to you saying, hey, Billy4197, great answer. Thanks for watching. I don't know. It's the person who commented. Thanks for watching. In 1947, the radio rights for the World Series sells for $475,000 for the next 3 years.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I wish I had that much money. You ready for this? Yeah. This is how much money I really wish. I wish I had Fox Broadcasting's money. You know why?
No.
Because in 2012, they paid Major League Baseball $12.4 billion with a B to broadcast the MLB games over the next 8 years starting in 2014. So from 2014 on, which is what we're in now, $12.4 billion. That, my friends, is a whole lot of money. Yes, I know. I'm dumbfounded also. In 1973, this was the year Daddy was born, President Nixon proclaimed Jim Thorpe the greatest athlete of the first half century. He was the first Native American to win a gold medal.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool. He also played professional baseball, football, and basketball.
That's a lot of things.
That is a lot of things.
I don't even play that many.
Nope. Ready? This is the sad part. His medals were taken away from him when the Olympic Committee discovered that he played 2 years of semi-professional baseball. So he won gold medals. They said, nope, because you were getting paid to play sports, we take them away from you.
That's not fair.
That isn't fair. Good news, though. In 1983, 30 years after his death, the IOC changed their mind and gave him his medals back.
How?
Well, they gave it to like his family and stuff like that. So they said, you know what, we're going to put your records back in the record books, and we're going to say, yes, you in fact did win gold medals. Yep, here's the best part. Jim Thorpe was such a good athlete that there was a town in Pennsylvania that renamed themselves Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And here's the best part. Jim Thorpe never was to that town. He never visited that town once. So they named a town after him even though he's never been there.
That's kind of funny.
That is kind of funny. In 1976, the New York Nets sell the contract of Julius Dr. J. Irving. Did you ever hear of him?
No.
He's one of the greatest Sixers of all time. To the Philadelphia 76ers for $3 million. And then finally, in 1983, that same guy, Dr. J, helped the Sixers finally win their very first World Championships. 1982, the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Milwaukee. Moving on, in 1982, the St. Louis Cardinals finished the World Series with the Milwaukee Brewers by beating them 4-3 in the 79th World Series. If you watch some of our other shows, that was called the Brew Series because both teams were related to beer somehow.
Now it's birthday time.
Not yet. We still have a couple more, and then it'll be birthday time. In 1988, the LA Dodgers beat the Oakland A's in baseball's 85th World Series, 4-1. That was all West Coast right there. In 1990, following year, the Reds go on to beat the same Oakland A's in the 86th World Series.
Did they win?
No, the A's lost both World Series in 1988 and 1990. In 1993, the highest scoring World Series game that had our Phillies in it, the Blue Jays scored 15 runs, the Phillies 14 runs, and it took 4 hours and 14 minutes to play that game. That was a long game with a lot of hits.
I don't want to watch that.
No, you don't want to watch 4 hours? No. We only have 3 more facts until the birthday for Friday for today. 1996, Braves' Andrew Jones is the youngest player to homer in the World Series today. And in 2004, the MLB American League Championships, the Boston Red Sox come back from an 0-3 deficit to beat the New York Yankees 4-3. I had to throw that in there because it's finally one of the Yankees losing. And for this one, I can't wait a whole year to tell you about this one, because this one happened just last night. Last night, Enrique Hernandez makes history, becoming the first player to hit 3 homers and record 7 RBIs in one postseason game as the Dodgers beat down the Cubs last night 11-1 to go on to play in the World Series. So that's it for the facts for today. Cameron's going to throw some birthdays at you, and then we're going to move on with Saturday and Sunday as well.
And make sure do not click away once I finish reading the birthdays, because we have a whole weekend full of celebration.
A whole weekend full of celebration. So, if today is your birthday, then happy birthday to you. Did you hear my voice?
Yeah,
It was,
crack.
I'm going through puberty there. Okay, go ahead, Cameron. You're not good.
In 1931, Mickey Mantle, the commercial comet, New York Yankees home run slugger, 1956 Triple Crown, and in 1937, Julian Marchal.
Juan Mercile. I don't know how to say his name either. But he's this guy right over here. Just look at the picture. That's him right there. It's his birthday today also. He was born in 1937.
And in 1952, Dave Collins. And in 1953, Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez, you may know him from the beard commercials. No?
And in 1959, Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon. You gotta say it right. Razor Ramon. Fun fact, real fast. Does anybody know what Razor Ramon's real name is? I'll give you 3, 2, 1, tell him.
Scott Hall.
He's a wrestler. Today's his birthday. Wish him a happy birthday.
He was a wrestler. Well, everybody should know his name as Scott Hall, but...
But they don't. They know him as Razor Ramon.
Yeah. And in 1969...
Juan Gonzalez.
The same name as Juan.
Yep. Another baseball player, Juan Gonzalez. And then finally...
In 1980, Jose Veras.
Veras. Sounds good to me. It's his birthday also. So if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. All right, now we're moving on to tomorrow, Saturday. So this is a good one. You're watching the video tonight, Friday. You can tell your friends tomorrow all the cool stuff that you're about to learn here. Starting, this one didn't start as early as the other ones. This one starts in 1935. Hank Greenberg was selected the AL MVP unanimously. That's pretty impressive. In 1964, the Braves asked the National League to allow them to finally leave Milwaukee and head down to Atlanta, which is where I've known them to be my whole life. So they asked them to move today. In 1973, Fred Dryer, not the actor, the football player. Did you know that it's the same person?
Yeah.
After football, he became an actor.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Awesome. He then played for the Los Angeles Rams, became the first player in NFL history to score 2 safeties in the same game. That's pretty impressive. That's a good thing.
That's a safety.
A safety is when you tackle the other team in the end zone. So you get 2 points for a safety. He tackled somebody twice in one game. It's really hard to do that. Tackle them in the end zone. Trust me. Okay? In 1975, the Red Sox, Carlton Fisk, 12th inning home run, beat the Reds 7-6 in Game 6 of the World Series, forcing a Game 7. And also then following year in 1976, the Cincinnati Reds sweep the New York Yankees, sweep them right out of there. They swept them right out of the 1976 World Series to the 73rd World Series, swept them right away. But in doing so, the New York Yankees' Thurman Munson had a pretty good series. He tied the World Series mark of 6 straight singles, and he had a total of 9 singles throughout the entire series and batted a lofty .529. That is really hard to do, and especially in the World Series in the biggest show. That's very, very impressive. 1980, what? This is the year the Phillies win the first World Series was 1980 today. Phillies, what? There we go.
Oh, and instead of sweep, you should call it they hit him out of the ballpark.
They hit him out of the ballpark. I like that. Hopefully that'll catch on. I don't know. In 1984, Cleveland Browns Steve Cox sets the club record with a 60-yard field goal. This is the furthest field goal since 1970, when Tom Dempsey also kicked a 60-yard field goal. Now, here's your fun fact for Saturday. Tell your friends all this. The furthest field goal in NFL history, 64-yarder in 2013 by Matt Prater of the Denver Broncos playing against the Tennessee Titans. So 64 yards, that is very far away, just letting you know that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know? Good.
Well, I don't know the exact measurement,
But you just know that it's far away?
I can kind of tell.
You can kind of tell? Okay. In 1997, Cleveland Indians, Marquise Grissom hit in his 15th straight World Series game. His streak did end at 15, and he is only second to Hank Bauer, who had 17 straight games that he had a hit in. That is really hard to do as well. And last one for tomorrow, for Saturday, the 1998 MLB World Series. The New York Yankees defeated the San Diego Padres 4-0. So that's it for Saturday. Cameron's going to throw some Saturday birthdays down on you. Birthdays! We don't need to do the whole thing. We did it once, but you can tell them these. Oh, there's a whole bunch there just in one row, so it's a little confusing there. Go ahead.
In 1959, George Bell.
George Bell. He's a great guy.
In 1967, John Flaherty.
Flattery? I think flattery. I don't know. We can't read too good on.
In 1975,
Toby.
I don't know why I said Toby.
I don't know why either.
Toby Hall.
Toby Hall.
In 1979.
Khalil Green.
In 1979, this is an easy name for once, Gabe Cross.
Cross?
I said Gross.
Gross. Gabe Gross.
It's Gross.
It's Gross. I'm telling you, I know the guy. It's Gabe Gross.
He's gross.
You're Gross.
Gross.
Gabe, I'm sorry. I know we went to high school together. Gabe Gross.
No, you didn't go to high school with him.
True.
In 1983, Zach
Greinke.
Sounds kind of like cranky.
Kind of, yeah. That's what I get a lot, cranky.
Is he green and a
That's pretty funny.
And in 1983, Grand Marquis. I mean, not Grand.
She's just making up words. She doesn't even say that on there anywhere.
In 1983, Andy Marty.
Andy Marte. So all those people have a Saturday birthday on the 21st. If your birthday is October 21st, happy birthday to you. You share it with those fine individuals. And now finally, Sunday's news. So here we go. Sunday! Football day! Here's the 22nd, October 22nd. Here's all the fun news for the 22nd. Starting way back in 1884, Sporting Life announced that both pennant winners will meet in a 3-game series October 23rd to the 25th at the Polo Grounds in New York City to determine baseball's champions. So that was 1884. That's, some say, now maybe some other people say that that's the first World Series. I have no idea. In 1939, the very first NFL game was aired on TV. It was the Eagles versus the Dodgers.
Did the Eagles win?
I don't know. And I didn't know there was a Dodgers football team. Check our facts on that one. In 1972, the Oakland A's first championship. They finally got their first championship. They beat the Reds 4-3 in the 1972 World Series. In the 1975 World Series, those same Reds were back again. And this time they win. They beat the Boston Red Sox 4-3 in the 72nd World Series. Congratulations. 1985. Brett Saberhagen gives the Kansas City Royals their first win, leading to their first World Series title. I remember that year. Hopefully we'll find out a lot more about it because George Brett went nuts one day because they said that he used pine tar on his bat when charging out. It was really cool.
What?
Don't worry about it. In 1992, the Atlanta Braves become the first U.S. team to win a World Series game outside of the U.S. You know where they won that World Series game? It was very far away. Now, California's in the U.S. Think of someplace outside of the United States.
Paris!
Paris! Great guess.
Right?
But wrong. Nope, they traveled all the way to Toronto. The Toronto Blue Jays became the first Canadian baseball team to make it to the World Series in 1992. And then Atlanta won the very first game in Canada, beating the Blue Jays that first game. 1996, New York Yankees, Bernie Williams hits his record-tying 7th postseason home run as Yankees tie the record with 6 straight postseason road wins. 2 more games later, they will end it with 8 straight postseason road wins. 1997 had 2 very interesting facts about the 1997 World Series. It was first the coldest World Series game ever played. You want to guess what the temperature was?
40 degrees?
Very close. 39 degrees. 38 degrees. Very cold. Almost freezing, yes. The Marlins, Florida, were up in Cleveland, and it was very cold up there. And then it was also the second longest 9-inning game in World Series history. This game took 4 hours and 12 minutes to play as the Marlins and the Indians went on. They were tied 7-7 going into the 9th, and then they wound up winning 14-11 with all those runs being scored in the 9th inning.
I'm getting tired just hearing that was 4 hours long.
I know, me too. And our last fact for the weekend, a 1999 NHL goaltender, Grant Fuhr. We just call him Grant Fuhr, but I like to say it with like a French accent.
Yeah.
He wins his 400th career game versus the Florida Panthers. So that's it for me. Cameron only has 4 other birthdays for you. So if you're born on Sunday, here's the birthdays that go along with October 22nd.
In 1907, Jimmy Fox.
He's a friend of mine. Yeah.
No,
No, he's not.
And in 1918, Louis Klein.
Yep, Lou Klein. I liked him. He was a good guy.
And in 1968, Keith Oski.
Osick? Keith Osick. We'll go with that.
Okay.
I know how to say this one.
You want to read it?
In 1973, great year, the great Japan import Ichiro Suzuki was born Sunday, today, October 22nd, in 1973. Ichiro Suzuki. He's still playing, as a matter of fact.
How old is he?
He's the same age as me. He's old, 43.
And he's still playing?
Still playing, yes. Today's his 44th birthday. Happy birthday to you,
Obviously
Ichiro. I know, it does. No, he's in much better shape than Fat Daddy is. All right, so from all of us here, View from the Yard, don't forget to follow us on Snapchat at
View from the Yard.
On Twitter at
View Yard.
No, View from the Yard. And on Facebook at
View Yard.
That's right. Like, subscribe, do all that other fun stuff down here.
Subscribe, comment,
Like, throw some love out our way, and we'll throw some love back to you.
And make sure to turn on the notification bell.
Notification bell, that's right. All right, until Monday, it's Cameron, it's me, saying peace out.